bed. Today's results are all laid bare. Leg before or caught behind. Jokes will fly and sound unkind. Stories spun with foolish pride. So open that beer and enjoy the ride.
Okay, we're recording. Fuck it. Spent 20 minutes working out lighting, and it turns out that you flip from photo to video and the lighting's all fucking different. So let's deal with it. Okay, this is a test, more of a test recording more than anything else. What I'd like to start doing is having a regular. I know I do my match reports for the games that I play in, and that's good for the guys that I play with, and a lot of you don't give a shit. And I've done some Snaps Talks live, which is me just being a dick, talking about rambling stuff. But there's more to the world, much more to the world. Okay, let's quickly. There's more to the world of cricket. This is cricket focus. So if you're not interested in cricket stuff and you only want Snap Talks live, then you know what, don't hang around. And look, apologies, this looks really grainy on the iPad tonight. I'm assuming it's because I've just turned half a dozen lights off because everything looked yellow, and now it looks grainy. So look, I'll rewatch this and see how we go. Yes, as I said, I'm looking to do possibly a... We've got Snap Talks Live. I want to talk about usual, just, you know, whatever shit crosses my mind. Then I do the match reports, which I might separate out to, like, you know, have a different intro, Snaps match report or some crap. J&G Finance, Offside, Glenn Media Productions. Please take note that I may need another intro, a shorter one. And I'll keep this for Snap Talks Cricket, which is like a general. Going to try and do a weekly update. The reason being, there's a lot of. It's going to be more focused on sort of the. Well, what's good now is that New South Wales Masters has recently renamed themselves from New South Wales Veterans. I think Cricket Australia is under Masters as well. It was New South Wales Veterans before, which to me I think is more aligned with those that have served our country from an armed forces perspective and deserve that level of respect. I think veterans should be reserved for them, and I think that's the logic behind renaming to New South Wales Masters or Masters New South Wales Cricket or whatever they've called it. So it's good. Sorry, I've got a cat circling me, going meow, meow, like I'm going to deliver something. Who knows? Your dinner's there. You've been fed, mate. I mean, you're not talking. This is not your podcast. Oh my God. Have you? Sorry, this cat's been wanting nothing from me but the last couple of days but attention. I'm not sure if you guys have ever watched The Big Bang Theory, and there was Leonard's mum wrote a book called "Was it Greedy Baby, Needy Baby," and I swear it's written about this fucking cat. But anyway, on with the show. This is going to be deliberately longer, as I said earlier on. This is a bit of a test as well. I kind of wanted to do these episodes to talk about, have a look at what's going on in Masters cricket, whether it's for Australia, whether it's for New South Wales, whatever. I mean, I'm not going to be able to follow every game around the whole country and the world and whatever. That's crazy. So I might talk about the Sydney Masters competition, which breaks it down to 40s, 50s, and 60s, I think. I might talk about the state regional stuff, which is 40s, 50s, 55s, 60s, 65s, onwards to 70s, blah, blah. Or maybe I might talk about some of the Australian duties in the Masters. Look, to be honest, actually, I'm going to pause this for a second because I need to put some more lights on because I feel as this is getting darker, this is getting grainier. So I'm going to pause this and just whack it together. So back in a second. All right. That's way better. Turn some lights on and adjusted it, which the sun's going down anyway, so it's always going to get darker. But I know it'll be a bit of an adjustment for you guys. As I said, yeah, this is a doing a weekly thing. This is going to be a test upload. I'm deliberately making it a bit longer. one of my concerns was I'm trying to reduce the length of my match reports because people that don't want to hang around for a match report for an hour. But something like this, like a weekly series, where I talk about a few things or whatever, and hopefully I get some guests on. We'll figure that out at some point when I stop being lazy. If it takes like an hour, then people might not mind so much. So you can watch a match report for 10 minutes, or you can watch a full chat thing for an hour. Again, don't need to watch this video. I can listen to it as a podcast because most of it's just me sitting here anyway. I think some match reports in Dubbo. I put some footage up, which would be nice. Which would be nice if you want to watch that, but doesn't really matter. So yeah. Oh, about the testing upload. So I'm deliberately making it bigger because what I was finding was even 10-minute videos were taking like 2 hours to upload. I have to go to bed because I'm doing them late at night sometimes after I get home from cricket. But I did a speed test on, just used my phone, speed test on our Wi-Fi, and it was like 28 download, but it's like 2.4 upload. The upload's the biggest problem. So I thought, let me take it. I mean, I'm not going to get 5G in the area, though the phone can handle 5G, but I thought, let's try it in 4G. So I turned off the Wi-Fi, did that. It was like 140 and then about 28 uploads. So, so this one I'm going to try and... The problem I've got is I record these on the iPad. The iPad doesn't have data. So what I'm going to have to try and do is do like I'm going to see if I can do like an AirPlay, Air Transfer, AirPod, Air fucking something. I've got an Apple phone and an Apple iPad, so they should be able to transfer data from the iPad to the phone quickly, and then I can use the phone to upload because it'll be a quicker speed if I turn off Wi-Fi. That's the point. If that doesn't work, then I'll try tethering to the phone or some shit. But that's part of the reason why this one's going to be a little bit longer. I mean, it's going to be long because I'm going to waffle shit because, you know, you've all met me. You've been here before. This goes for a while. But yeah, part of this one being a bit longer is to sort of do a test on whether I can get it uploaded quicker. But again, and if I can, then I can do like a weekly longer series, whether I can interview people, whether I can talk about, someone wants to message me and say, hey, I played this game, here's some details, have a chat about it, or give me a call and we'll chat about it, and blah, blah, blah. You know, it just opens up some possibilities. So I did make some notes. Might I be pleased? I kind of paid no fucking attention to them whatsoever. I'm not sure how much YouTube takes out swear words. Because I watched this other guy who swears a lot and he's deliberately cutting them out now, but he says a lot. I just say now and again. So, because, you know, I'm just being a person, an Australian person who talks, and sometimes we say fuck. This is never marked for children. It's marked for people, not blokes, but people in general over 40. Yeah, okay, so testing upload. That was third on my list. Let's go backwards to what happened. One thing I thought was hilarious this week, I don't know, but if any of you guys have watched, I haven't watched much of the Winter Olympics. I watched a little bit when I was in Dubbo because there was bugger else there wasn't a lot else on the TV there. You could connect your own personal TV, or you could log in on the TV to Amazon and YouTube, but I'm not putting my login details into anything public, so I was just watching the normal free-to-air. So I watched a little bit of Winter Olympics when I was there. And since I got back, I haven't really watched a huge amount of it. I jumped on to see some replays, and I watched a bit of the skeleton. Skeleton's like incredibly funny. But I saw some stuff pop up in the news about some reporter from Channel 9 to Today Show. Like, does anybody even watch like the Today? Maybe in our age group they do. I don't know. I very rarely do I watch commercial TV. Especially, I'm not watching the Today Show with fucking Carl Stefanovic. Jesus Christ. Sorry, if anyone out there is a fan of Skulls. I'm going to backtrack because I try to be positive on this show. So I shouldn't be putting Carl down. But girl turned up on the Olympics, did a commentary thing. She'd had a few drinks. She's in like fucking massive heights. And, you know, it's Italy. They drink wine for breakfast, from what I understand. I've never been there. But there's been a big hoorah, and I've come out going, oh, I'm sorry. Watch my fucking podcast. Drink it all the fucking time. It's what I do. Deal with it. Christ almighty. Sorry, I don't. Hopefully, I don't get on the slur my words and blah blah blah. I'm not going to do one of those when I'm hammered and going, oh, I hate the world and blah blah. I have a couple of drinks on a Friday night or Saturday after cricket. And somebody did ask me in Dubbo, oh, how much do you have to drink? Reality is, it's a bit of a Dean Martin thing. It's a bit more put on than you think. Most of the time, I don't finish work till 5:30, 6 o'clock. I'm in bed by 8:30, so in 2.5 hours, you can't have that many drinks on a Friday. On a Saturday or a Sunday, I don't get home from cricket till 7:30, 8 o'clock. I have a couple of quick drinks, I do a podcast, and then we're done. So no, I'm not normally hammered, but I don't think that poor girl was either. And the fact that they're still making a big hoorah about it on commercial TV that nobody watches anymore. I'm sorry, does anybody watch it? I don't. I see no reason to watch it. The closest I come to watching commercial TV is Stan, because they've got the Winter Olympics coverage, so I watch that. But the rest of the time, YouTube for me, Netflix for the odd movies, Yeah, I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. You guys are the audience. So yeah. So testing upload, that was number 3. Channel 9 girl drunk at Winter Olympics, that was number 2. Number 1, and I told her because the stepdaughter was hanging around, don't test 14-year-old stepdaughters. She returned the iPad, had 10%. I said, dude, it's like returning a car with no petrol. She didn't understand it and got cranky at me. So don't test 14-year-old stepdaughters. They're not good at taking criticism. Okay. Now, what was next before we get on to... Oh, yeah, number 5 was new series Friday Night Wrap-Up. Talked about that. Going to try and do some of that sort of stuff. Above that was... I'm not sure why I'm telling you guys this. You probably don't really care. I hadn't played guitar for a while. I hadn't practiced for anything. So I thought I'd learn a new song. I'm really, really bad at music, like guitar and stuff. But decided I want to play a song, learn to play the song from beginning to end and sing it. And so, I picked like a nice simple song, like fucking Happy Birthday. No, I picked Man in the Box by Alice in Chains. So come and see me in 6 months and say, how you go with Man in the Box with Alice in Chains? And I'll say, oh, yeah, still got past the first 3 bars. But anyway, we're having fun. So, if I'm going to talk about cricket, do I do this? Do I talk about this first or this last? I might just take a moment to pause. I might do this first. I wasn't sure I was going to talk about this tonight or not, but he was such a good guy. For those of you who knew this week, a good friend of ours, JJ John Jewis, passed away a couple of days ago. I knew JJ just through Masters and Classics, and really, really good guy. Had a lot of stories. He used to tell us about his rugby league history. It wasn't until he passed that I saw a thing from Moi Moi Rugby League Club about what he had achieved. I'd also seen things from the Central Coast Swimming about the amount of stuff that he did with the swimming. I didn't know how much he did with the cricket and the Masters cricket, and involved in the committee for the New South Wales Masters and things. So probably just really, a shout out to JJ. I played with him on Sunday. He's was a fantastic guy. Very, very sorely missed by a lot of people. Again, I wasn't sure if I was going to say this, but it deserves to have us remember him, even if it's a small channel of 38 followers or whatever I've got. Was a quality guy. I bowled, I think, third change straight after him on Sunday, and I was sitting at mid off when he was bowling, and he was talking to me about batsman's doing this is what I'm working out, and I was absolutely in awe of his ability to read a batsman and to figure them out. They had a guy who got in the bank, but he bowled him, I think, something like 11 or 12 slow balls, and the guy didn't pick a single one, walked off going, mate, I don't know how to pick a slow ball. Another guy was out there, and he said to me, he goes, look, he's doing, X, Y, and Z. He said, give me a few balls, I'll get him on the pads. And he did. He just moved this guy around the crease and then hit him on the pads and got him LBW. The ability to read a batsman and then play with them. I mean, I said to him at the time, I said, mate, stop playing with your food and get the guy out. And he did. He was just, I was in awe. And he was a good guy. So I decided to say something about him tonight. And JJ, you'll be sorely missed, mate. I know you're up there watching. So last thing I want to talk about tonight is kind of in the vein of what I want to do on a Friday night. And I'll prepare a little bit more during the week in future. And that's the reason I picked Friday, because it's the day before the next round of whatever's going on. But there was this week, and I didn't pick up on it first of all. I knew we had an Australian over, I think it's over 50 side. Let me just go and check. Yeah, an over 50s tour of New Zealand. And I knew they played like a one-day game, or a couple of one-day games, but I didn't realise that the round 3 game was a test match. I think it was only because I watched the first day, but it was the first over 50s test match. It was a 3-day game, but it's still a test match between Australia and New Zealand. Look, it may not be the first. It's the first I'm aware of, but I think that's incredible. That when I started playing, well, I didn't start playing cricket till I was 43, so I was already in the Masters realm. Got to play classics, or the names are going to change now because they've got 50s and 55s. But traditionally, 40s were Masters, classics were 50s, and veterans were 60s. That's all probably going to change now that New South Wales has been, and Australia is like called Masters, as they should be. So anybody, I think, over 40, and then they'll probably just call them 40s, 45s, 50s, 55s, whatever they break it down to. So this was 50s though. And I don't know if it's the first one or not of a test match. I feel like it might have been. I think I only know one person playing. Still incredibly proud to know a guy that's playing cricket for Australia now, who next week I could be playing on a Sunday. Yeah, I kind of tried to watch it for the last couple of days. Didn't, unfortunately. I think the YouTube channel worked on the Monday. I'm looking at this through Play HQ, which unfortunately is going to give me all the New Zealand players are marked as private and asterisks. There is a New Zealand channel which I was able to follow through Facebook during the week and see their names. And unfortunately, the video only worked for day 1, day 2, and day 3. We didn't get any video through YouTube, and there was no commentary. I know they were trying. I saw that they were trying to get it up. They did mention on their channel that we're trying to get commentary up. So obviously there's some technical difficulties, but even just be able to follow the scores and know that over 50s guys my age are playing against Australia versus New Zealand. It's not like, I know there was some stuff on in England maybe 12 months ago, which I think might have been one-day games, and it was like Australia versus England and New Zealand. They had like a World Cup thing, and they had the likes of Brett Lee and I think Stuart Clark played, and a lot of like ex when they were back in their prime days playing, which is fantastic. It's great. I mean, those guys should deserve everything they can to represent their country. But to see these guys representing their country, who are guys that I know are quality cricketers, have been around for a long time, but they're not the household names you know from the 80s and 90s that were playing for Australia. They're proper guys that have been stalwarts of cricket for a long time, guys that I look up to and teach me, and none of them, the guys that I know, actually I just realised I know 2 of them. They don't know airs or graces. They're all more than happy to help any of us. I learned a couple of years ago when I got to fortunately play for New South Wales in like Div 3 or Div 4. Met some of the guys and they were more than happy to share their stories and share their experience. So they deserve all the accolades they get for going out and representing us old fellas. a lot of, I assume they all fit into Gen X, same as me. Doing a lot of stuff that didn't sort of happen when we were, not when we were younger, because we're older now, but I know my dad didn't have the opportunity to play. I mean, Dad passed early, but they didn't have the opportunity to play these sort of older stuff. Like I know golf had a Golf Masters, and they've done it for years, and they still do. And the guys are out there, and but yeah, I'm just in awe of these guys being able to do this, and the guys that I've met have been fantastic guys. So I assume they all are. But yeah, so the 3-day game. It says 2-day here, but I think that's wrong. And again, apologies to any of my New Zealand friends who are watching this, because I'm looking at it through Play HQ, so I don't have the New Zealand team names. But maybe I go for a bit of memory. So Australia batted first a couple of days ago. Stephen Mace, who I've seen his name around for a while. I don't know Stephen, but scored 108 in the first innings. Brian May, 51 at number 3. Simon Nietzsche, I know, plays for Macarthur. I'm pretty sure it's called Macarthur. Down Campbelltown way. Simon scored 40. Simon was the vice captain. Cracking guy. And then a few more runs. I mean, I can't really commentate on the flow of the game because I wasn't there. I was kind of watching it on the text. It's a bit hard, and I was working the last couple of days. So, but the highlights seem to have been, well, I'm actually going to skip forward. So Stephen May scored 108 in the first innings and 125 in the second innings. So that's incredible going, especially at our age, to be able to bat that long. I'm guessing Stephen must be a fairly fit bloke, and obviously a cracking batsman. So I'm hoping I don't have to bowl him ever. So don't, Stephen, if I doubt you're going to see this, but if you did, don't come back and play in the Sydney's closing competition, because I don't want to bowl you. Good thing is we have banking, so the guy he may get in the bank at 40 runs and bug it off before I've had a bowl. Yeah, Brian May 51, Simon Nietzsche 40. That was kind of it. But 93.2 overs, 302 runs. Great start from the boys. Kiwis had a guy got 357 and 4 for 63. Bowled the bulk of the overs. It was 1 for 77 from 26. So they sort of did pretty well. 302. Then New Zealand came into bat and answered 324. How many overs did we face? 93.2. They did 98 overs for their 324. So New Zealand took the lead in the first innings, which is good for them. And again, they were in a bit of trouble early. So their opener got 29. They had a 9 dark 2023. It was their number 5, 3, 4, 5, 6. Number 6 got 102. Number 7 got 75. So there's obviously a cracking partnership there. Which kind of put us a little bit in the back foot. I would have thought if I can actually scroll down, at 5 for 91, we're in a great place. 6 for 256, they're well back in it. So well done the Kiwis for doing that. Pick of the bowlers, Peter Dell, I don't know Peter, 6 for 51. Cracking bowling. I'm going to take a punt. Peter, if you're watching this, or anyone who knows Peter, I'm going to guess that Peter's a spinner because he opened the bowling in the second innings. And he seems to have taken some of the lower wickets. So he took his first wicket at... She took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the fifth wicket... it doesn't say how many overs. But that was a 91. Oh no, he took the fourth wicket, 78. So, yeah, I don't know. So the people that I know, and apologies for just mentioning the ones that I know, but, it's how commentary works. Could have done some more research, but I didn't. If this is your first time to this channel, and I just talk. Brett James. Met Brett James at not last year's Nationals, the year before. Really, really good guy. Left arm opening bowler. Opened the bowling in the first innings. Really, really nice bloke. I think from memory of my conversation with him, I was talking about him. I took it up late, 43. He's similar boat. I think he played when he was younger, and then didn't play for a long time, then came back. And he's played for Australia. 2 for 51 from 16. That's really good bowling. Obviously, Peter Dell for 6 for 51 was the pick of the bowlers. So 324, which put us behind by what? How's my maths going to be? 22. That's pretty easy. Then obviously it was, I think from memory, I think when I looked at this morning, so day 1, day 2, I looked at this morning, we hadn't bowled them out at that point. So it was going to be last day, how many runs can we put on? Can we put a lead? Can we give ourselves time to bowl them out? I'm surmising just from, cricket, whether we had time to bowl them out. The guys obviously, I think, try to put on the runs as quick as they can, but you don't want to be sacrificing wickets. I don't know what the pitch was like. I don't know what the conditions were like. I can't talk about that. But Australia put on 5 declared for 262 for 55. That's a run rate of 4.8. It's almost 5 and over. So in a test match, you're going at 5 and over. That's some pretty cracking going. Especially, I know you guys are a lot fitter than I am, but especially at our age, it's still a bit. You still got, it's harder to score. Again, Stephen Mace 125. So 100. As far as I know, this is the first over 50s test match between Australia and New Zealand, and to score 100 in both innings, mate. Hopefully one day I get to meet you, shake your hand, because that's cracking batting. On the other hand, hopefully I never have to bowl to you because I'm a bowler. I'm not bowling to Dick. You get double hundreds for Australia. Fuck me. Brian May 66. I think didn't Brian get runs in the first innings? Yeah, 51 in the first innings, 66 in the second innings. Well batted by Brian. And Simon Neitz, 39 not out. So after backing up from a 40 in the first innings, Simon got 39 in the second innings. Unfortunately, I think the last time we played MacArthur, I was fortunate enough to be there. I think from memory, the guys were saying he hurt himself and then burnt realistic and scored a shit ton of runs because couldn't run. I think that was you, Simon. Luckily, I wasn't there. So hopefully next time we play, I'm playing MacArthur Masters on Sunday, who Simon plays for. I think there's another one day or a 2020 or something to go. So with any luck, he's not going to be there this Sunday, and I can not have to bowl to Simon because he's a really good bowler, batter, and a good bloke. And got a wicket in the first innings too. So well batted, mate. Well played. From the Kiwis at a 154 and a 352. Again, it's a whole bunch of asterisks, so I can't tell you who it is. So they were set. I was watching it today, so I unfortunately I don't think it's going to tell me. No. It was something like 8 and over for the rest of the day. So carrot was dangled quite well for them. But you go for it. If you start losing wickets, you pull back and try and play for the draw. So, I'm pretty sure they were set 8 and over. I'm not even going to try and remember what the figures were or even do the maths on it. Their adding batsmen 17, 18, 45 and 36. And 3 got 4. Number 4 got a duck. I kind of think by that point. So what were they? 1 for 25, 2 for 39. They probably shut up shop by that point and gone, play out the day. I think they had 40 overs, something like that. Peter Dell opened the bowling, none for 16 from 6. I don't know if Peter's a spinner or not. He's listed as first change in the first innings, but it's hard to tell sometimes these things that put up in order. James Morris, that's really good bowling. 1 for 9 from 6 overs, and he went for 1.5 and over. If I go to the first innings, did James Morris open the bowling? I think he did. Yeah, 1 for 75 from 2022. Not sure why Brett James didn't bowl in the second innings, so who knows? Maybe an injury. May have just been the fact that they wanted to take the pace off and were bowling Peter Dell. But again, Peter Dell may not be a spinner. Who knows? Pick of the bowlers, Mark Wade, 2 for 21. Glenn Cleary, I feel like there was... Yeah, Wade. I think if I can go and find this. Yeah, I remember watching because I was working today, so I was kind of just keeping an eye on the score. 1 for 25, but then I saw the 2 for 39, then went to 3 for 42, and then 4 for 44. So there's a period where Wade took 2 for 39, then 3 for 42. So Wade took a couple within 3 runs, and then Cleary took one to 4 for 44. But obviously they've shut up shop and come to the end. So at the end of the day, it was a drawn match. Australia 324. Oh, no, hang on. It's got the wrong logo. Sorry. Australia batted first, 302. New Zealand replied with 324 to give them a 22-run lead. Australia then put on 5 for 262 declared, so that would be a 240-run target. And New Zealand 4 for 70. It says New Zealand 1 here, but I think that's a mistake because to me that's a drawn match. But yeah, it was great to be able to. Hopefully for future matches they improve the streaming quality and we're able to watch besides the first day, not just have to keep an eye on the score. I mean, especially for Australia. So I know with frog boxes and all sorts of things, they've got stuff going. Personally, I'm hoping to be able to commentate one of these things one day, but that's a whole nother conversation for another day. But anyway, I think with the first piece that I'm going to chop together, we're probably close to, we're over half an hour. So let's see how this uploads, see if anybody's interested in watching it. And for this particular series, I'll see you next Friday, where I might have a look at the Sydney Classics, or the Sydney Masters, or even both. Have a look at the ladders and talk about who's going well and those sorts of things, and maybe some top of the run scorers. Oh, one thing I want to apologise for is because, as you all heard me say, that the stepdaughter returned the iPad flat. I couldn't plug in my microphones tonight, so if the volume's down a little bit, I apologise. You just have to turn it up and just do your best, because I can't have the charger plugged in at the same time as my microphone thing. So you know, iPads and iPhones, you got one little fucking plug. It'd be nice you got a few, but anyway, we don't make the rules. We live by.
So there you go. That's our day. That's enough from me.